officials at Pyongyang had threatened to take military action against the South unless it halts cross-border propaganda broadcasts by 5:30 p.m. Japan time. That deadline has passed, and the talks began at 6 p.m. The South Korean town of Yeoncheon is about 7 kilometers from the military demarcation line. Our reporter says about 20 residents are taking refuge in this underground shelter. They headed to shelters this evening ahead of a deadline set by North Korea to halt propaganda broadcasts. The North threatened to take military action unless the demand was met. Earlier today, South Korea's KBS reported that the two sides have agreed to talk. North Korea's state-run broadcaster says delegates will meet two officials from the Republic of Korea. It's rare for North Korea's state-run media to refer to the South using its official name. The high-level talks began at 6 p.m. in the truce village of Panmunjom. South Korea has sent its chief of the Presidential National Security Office, Kim Kwan-jin, and Unification Minister Hong Yong-pyong. North Korea is represented by Hwang Pyong-so, who heads the political bureau of the Korea People's Army. He's joined by Kim Yong-gon, an official of the ruling Workers' Party, in charge of inter-Korean affairs. The two sides are thought to be discussing ways to ease tensions on the peninsula. This man says he hopes the two sides will agree to keep peace through dialogue instead of resorting to gun battles. The latest flare-up was triggered by the explosion of landmines on the South Korean side of the demilitarized zone. South Korea accused the North of planting the mines. Denies. People are watching to see whether the talks will lead to a breakthrough.
We are now joined by Kansei University Professor Shunji Hiraiwa. He is an expert on the Korean Peninsula. North Korea threatened to take military action if South Korea didn't stop anti-Pyongyang propaganda broadcast by 5:30 p.m. Japan time today, but it agreed to hold high-level talks with South Korea. Why?
Well, yes, North Korea has been taking tough stance, but also been looking for the chances to have dialogue, and South Korea has decided to hold a dialogue, and I think this is something that acceptable to North Korea, and also this is going to be in high-level talks, and this has been ceased since last October, so North Korea, this achievement is acceptable.
Why did South Korea agree to the talks?
Well, if this tension continues as a result of that, North Korea will just only escalate its tough stance, and so South Korea has decided to just accept to hold this dialogue and try to seek the way to ease the tensions.
What's North Korea's intention to seek dialogue with the South?
Well, this year marks the 70th anniversary of the foundation of the Workers' Party of Korea for North Korea, and North Korea wants to make this a successful event, so it also wants to have some kind of a progress or achievement regarding its relationship with South Korea, and so if they can make some certain progress, then that means this is an achievement of Kim Jong-un, so I think that's what they're looking for.
Do you think the talks can ease the tensions between the two Koreas?
Well, now that a high-level talk is being held, and while this talk is being held, North Korea will not take tough stance. So, yes, for a while, the tension will ease. But South Korea has also been very careful about holding this dialogue, and also the very cause of this tension, which was the landmines, this hasn't been solved yet. So if things doesn't go as North Korea wants to, then there could be tension once again.
Thank you very much.
Our next story is about Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev's visit to Etorofu Island, one of the 4 Russian-held islands that are claimed by Japan. The Japanese government maintains the islands are an inherent part of its territory and refers to them as the Northern Territories. Etorofu is the largest landmass in the Northern Territories. At the end of World War II, 3,608 people were living there. This is the 3rd time Medvedev has visited the Northern Territories. The visit prompted Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida to summon Russia's ambassador to Japan and launch a protest. Young people on Etorofu attended a forum today to discuss the future of the island. Medvedev took part in the discussion and stressed that the government will promote development of the Far East region. The government places emphasis on regional development. He says it wants to promote the tourism and marine industries. Russia has held similar forums in locations it considers geopolitically important. They include Crimea, the Ukrainian territory Russia annexed last year. Russians celebrated National Flag Day today. Medvedev emphasized that the Northern Territories are part of Russia by flying a huge Russian flag together with the forum participants. His visit apparently aims to show Russia's determination to develop the Far East region, including Etorofu. A Japanese national who used to live on the island expressed anger at Medvedev's visit. He says he can't understand why he made the trip. He says although Russia says it won't return the islands, he still believes there's room for dialogue. Japan Foreign Minister Kishida summoned Russia's ambassador to Japan, Evgeny Afanasyev, and lodged a protest. Kishida said Medvedev's visit is extremely regrettable and unacceptable. He said it is inconsistent with Japan's position. The foreign ministry has been trying to arrange for Kishida to visit Russia in early September, but it says the schedule will have to be put off. The latest development may also affect Japan's plans to host a visit by Russian President Vladimir Putin later this year.
Other news in brief, the Emperor and Empress have gone on a retreat to Karuizawa in Nagano Prefecture. They visited a settlement developed by people who returned from the former Manchuria after World War II. They talked with community residents at a civic center. People shared stories of losing many relatives before returning to Japan and engaging in the difficult work of developing the land for farming. The Emperor and Empress empathized with them while listening to their stories of hardship.
Two visitors at a live fire drill conducted by the Ground Self-Defense Force were slightly injured. The drill was held at the Higashi Fuji training ground in Shizuoka Prefecture. Fragments from tank shells flew into the visitors' area and hit 2 men. Both suffered small cuts. Ground Self-Defense Force officials said another drill will be held tomorrow as scheduled. They said they'll take additional precautions.
Monday's deadly explosion in Bangkok is taking a heavy toll on Thailand's tourism industry. Our reporter visited a temple in Bangkok that's usually teeming with tourists on weekends. Only a few people were there today.
This person says that there has been 90% decrease in the number of tourists, and the damage is huge.
A Japanese tourist says he's trying to avoid crowded places. This tourist says police are everywhere, and they're even checking underneath vehicles. Police are reinforcing patrols to make sure people feel safe. Soldiers of the Chinese People's Liberation Army are seen standing with automatic rifles. Foreign media were invited to a drill in preparation for a military parade on September 3rd. China is holding the parade to mark 70 years since the victory over Japan in World War II. The government is commemorating the 70th anniversary of the end of the war. Chinese President a lot of energy to the parade as a way of showing his and China's military power. Foreign dignitaries have been invited. The areas around Tiananmen Square will be kept off limits during the drill until tomorrow. The event is having an impact on businesses and people's daily lives.
Now sports, the individual all-round event was held today at the National Intercollegiate Gymnastics Championships. Gymnasts who have come up in the wake of world champion Kohei Uchimura took part in the competition. Kenzo Shirai is a freshman at Nippon Sports Science University. Ryohei Kato is a senior at Juntendo University. The two will participate in the upcoming World Championships. Shirai is strong at the floor exercise. He beat out all other competitors by earning 16 points. Shogo Nonomura is a senior at Juntendo. He's not part of the Japanese team that will compete at the World Championships, but he injured his left ankle while landing and had to drop out of the competition. Nonomura was steady throughout the championship. He won his second title and his first in 2 years. Nonomura is strong on the rings. He notched a high score. Steady throughout the championship. He won his second title and his first in 2 years. Nonomura says he hopes winning the title